White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt just posted a clip of an interview that you did on Fox last week. You were answering a question from Fox's Chad Pergram about blame for the shutdown. I want to look at the post here.
I mean, shutdowns are terrible. And of course, there will be, families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously. But it is one of the few leveraged times we have.
Leavitt is looking especially at that last bit you said there, saying that Democrats, quote, are now admitting that they are intentionally causing American families to suffer with their reckless government shutdown. What's your response to that?
Well, that is right out of her playbook of half-truths, taking things out of context, and not being straight with the American people.
Please disperse. Nothing to see here, please.
We all know exactly why the Democrats have shut down the government, but it's kind of refreshing to hear them admit it in their own words, even if they are just saying the quiet part out loud. And this, of course, is exactly what's going to be discussed today over on CNN, where Speaker Mike Johnson is going to take any crap from Caitlin Collins on this issue. But before we begin, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
And of course, right now we're here on Capitol Hill. The government shutdown is very much still underway. One question I think a lot of people have tonight is how long they should be prepared for this to go on for. In your view, do you think the American people should be prepared for this shutdown to last into November?
You know, the only person who can answer that question is Chuck Schumer and his Democrat colleagues in the Senate. They've now voted a dozen times to keep the government closed. And this is really important, Caitlin. Today, there was a big development on Capitol Hill that the second highest ranked House Democrat in leadership, Whip Katherine Clark, admitted openly that they have shut the government down and that they are using hardworking American families as leverage for what? So that they can show a fight against Trump and also so that they can restore $200 billion in free health care paid for by U.S. taxpayers to illegal aliens. Yes, that's in their bill. And it's just part of the $1.5 trillion that they have demanded to spend. We're not going to do that. They know we're not going to do that. And she said in her own words today, quote, we know that families will suffer, but this is only one of the leverage times that we have. She said that in her own words, and it was pretty shocking today to hear them say that. They usually don't say the quiet parts out loud.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, who wrote this morning that on y'all's GOP conference call, she said Speaker Johnson said he has ideas and pages of policy, but did not say a single policy plan. She said, I find it unacceptable that Republicans are sitting on the sidelines doing nothing to fix this healthcare disaster that is leading many Americans into financial ruin. That's her words. She says you're sitting on the sidelines. What's your response to Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Well, bless her heart. That's an absurd statement. Obviously, these conference calls are monitored by media, so we're not going to have actual strategy discussions on a line where you have hundreds of people listening in because it would be reported on the front page. We have been working on this for a long time. We worked on it today. We've been working on it every day. Marjorie is not here in Washington. She's not on the committees of jurisdiction, and she's not involved in those specific discussions, but she will be soon because they'll be related to all the House Republicans. This was always going to be a discussion and a debate that was going to be held in bipartisan fashion, by the way, in the month of October and November. We know that the end of the year is the end of those COVID-era subsidies, and there's real reforms that have to be made if they're going to be extended. The Democrats knew that, the Republicans knew that, and it was always on the table for discussion. They have made that a red herring issue for now, again, because they wanted to show a fight against Trump. This is purely about Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries in New York trying to avoid a challenge from a Marxist candidate in their next re-election cycles. 100%. That's why they're doing a 180-degree turn and doing exactly the opposite of what they did as recently as March of this year.
Speaker, she's saying that the Republicans aren't doing anything to address the health care issue here that Democrats are arguing about. Are you saying that there is a Republican plan and you're just not talking about it?
No, I'm saying there's lots of discussion about it, but we don't relay it on a conference call with hundreds of people listening in. We have many ideas on how to bring down the cost of health care, to continue to do that, and we've already demonstrated it in the Working Families Tax Cut. We had real reforms to Medicaid that you and I have discussed that have brought down the cost and saved about $185 billion for taxpayers and made the program stronger for the people that actually rely upon them because we got ineligible enrollees off the program. We have many ideas like that to bring down the cost of health care and increase access and quality of care. And all that will be rolled out in the days ahead. We have plenty of time to do it. It was always going to be done at the last quarter of the year, and that's what we're waiting on. And that's why we need the Democrats in the Senate to stop this crazy gambit, do the right thing, and reopen the government so we can finish all that work.
But if you have ideas and you have plans, why not have that out there to talk about in the public so the people can hear that debate happening? I mean, you could have committees in session right now.
They will, Caitlin.
Talking about this. I think the question is maybe
we
when,
need to get back to regular session so we can. No, we're not going to allow Chuck Schumer to play selfish political games and hold the American people hostage. We will not negotiate with legislative terrorists. We're not going to let them do that. We can't. We owe it to the people to get this government operating again. Republicans have now voted 12 or 13 times, counting the House and Senate, 13 times to open the government, and the Democrats have voted 13 times to close it down. It is wrong. There is no reason for it, and they can't even tell you tonight what it is they're demanding, except for $1.5 trillion in new spending, $200 billion for illegal aliens to get health care. They want to send billions of dollars overseas for wasteful foreign aid programs and all sorts of other stuff.
So I'm not the biggest Mike Johnson fan. I think he's kind of a wuss and he's caved on several issues, but I am glad that right now he's standing firm with Republicans and not kowtowing to the leftist Democrat demands. All right, because we all know exactly why this shutdown has happened. It's because Chuck Schumer is feeling the heat from the leftist base of the Democrat Party who wants someone to stand up to Trump and fight. So he's implemented this shutdown, which is really the only recourse the Democrats have at this point because they don't have control of either chamber of Congress. Okay, so what are they doing? They're holding Americans hostage. Admittedly, they know that people are going to be hurt by this, but they don't care because they're trying to drive their point home. However, the good news is it's not sticking. We've already talked about the polls showing that the majority of Americans are not blaming Donald Trump and the Republicans for this shutdown. And I'm thinking it's all going to fall on the Democrats eventually as soon as people stop getting all of their checks, some of which is happening now, but in November, that's when the pain is really going to start hitting. However, I do like the fact that Mike Johnson brings up that, yes, we are talking about making reforms to healthcare. As a matter of fact, right now, if we were in session, right, we'd be talking about those exact same reforms because we all know that all of those subsidies from COVID-19 are going to be taking effect, which all just basically shows how ineffective Obamacare actually was at cutting costs. Everyone said that, oh, if you actually make this universal healthcare system, what's going to happen? It's going to be untenable. It's going to be too expensive. It's going to bankrupt the system. And that's exactly what's going to happen if something isn't done by December. And that, of course, is where I'm actually hopeful that what Mike Johnson is saying is true. Have Republicans been working behind the scenes to come up with healthcare legislation, some real reform that can actually fix the abominable Obamacare? Can we get itemized bills from doctors and health insurance companies so we know exactly what we're being charged for? Can we get catastrophic health insurance expanded to more and more people? Can we expand and allow for more healthcare sharing ministries? Can we expand personal health savings accounts, right? These are all things that can actually have a direct impact on bringing down costs for American citizens. But what do the Democrats want to do? As Mike Johnson points out, yes, they want to bring back all of the illegal immigrants and put them back on our healthcare rolls. They want to bring back all the people who are physically able and young and put them back on our healthcare rolls. They want to export all of the weird woke pet project garbage overseas at the taxpayer expense, right? These were all the cuts that were made and stuff the Democrats now want to reinstitute. And that, of course, is what this whole budget fight is really about. So I really have my fingers crossed that Mike Johnson's going to stand up and do the right thing and not cave to the leftist demands, but at the same time that he actually is working on reforms to the horrible system that we have right now. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me. Do you like t-shirts? Of course you do. And now you can support the channel by buying an Angry Teacher t-shirt designed by me, Angry Teacher. So if you like America, if you like freedom, if you like liberty, then go ahead and click the link in the description where all designs, of course, are 100% mother approved. So enjoy yourself and find something you like today.